Every single one of us on this planet gets tunnel vision. We all fall for tricks of the mind. We have our own cognitive biases that are backed up by our preconceived beliefs about the world and how it works. But we like to think of ourselves as, rational creatures. So the common notion is that, when our beliefs are challenged with facts, that we would alter our opinions and incorporate the new information into our thinking and into our worldview. But what research has found is that this isn't true, that actually when our deepest convictions are challenged by contradictory evidence, our beliefs actually get stronger. This phenomena is known as the backfire effect, and the term was coined by Brendan Nyhan and Jason Reifler. Perhaps you've noticed this in the political debates and the news coverage that you've seen over the past couple of years in the United States. And there are many books on this, on how we really delude ourselves, every single one of us, through our cognitive biases. But there's a gentleman called David McRaney, and he hosts a podcast called You Are Not So Smart. He wrote a couple of books on this as well. And what he shares is that what should be evident from the studies on the backfire effect is that you can never win an argument online. When you start to pull out facts and figures, hyperlinks and quotes, you're actually making the opponent feel as though they are even more sure of their position than before you started the debate. As they match your fervor, the same thing happens in your skull. The backfire effect pushes both of you deeper into your original beliefs. So you've probably heard folks talk about the power of beliefs before, but I really invite you to revisit that and get humble and curious. Our first 2 days intentions of the 30 Days of Love Challenge. Beliefs are not just cold mental premises. They're hot stuff. They're intertwined with our emotions. So even when we feel stuck emotionally, there's always a biochemical potential for change and possible growth. When we choose to change our thoughts, bursts of neurochemicals, we become open and receptive to other pieces of sensory information that were previously blocked by our beliefs. So what research is finding is that literally when we have a strong idea about something, we literally become blind to things in our environment that question or challenge that belief. So when you're reflecting on today's intention of subjective, really dig deep here. What are the implications? What are the results for you personally and for every other person you've ever met? The notion that we are always 100% subjective. We can never experience a neutral reality. Think about it. The brain is sitting in the skull. It's a dark amphitheater, and it only relies on signals from the body to garner meaning from what's going on in the world. Well, as we've already mentioned, what we perceive, what signals get to the brain in order to be interpreted, is already affected by what we already believe about ourselves and the world. So what implications could this have for you in the realm of love and relationships? I'll leave you with this. Our interpretation of what we're seeing can literally alter our physiology. And if you want to learn more about that, there's a link here to an article called The Biochemistry of Belief. But if you don't want to read a scientific article, our subjective nature can be summed up as follows. Situation plus interpretation equals felt or reality. Situation plus new interpretation equals new felt reality. Interpretation is the X factor behind every moment of our lives and can be defined as our personal, often unconscious thoughts. We literally do not respond to an objective world out there, rather to our personal interpretations every moment of our lives from the cradle to the grave. So how can we be more aware of things like the backfire effect, be more aware of our subjective nature? Peter Bogeson sums it up quite nicely. He says that not taking ideas personally is made easier by the meta belief that holding certain beliefs does not make you a better person.